Okay, welcome everybody. This is Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We are going to go deep on the 7 steps of the Cars from Home system we use to get below market leases, new cars, used cars from home. We don't need to spend more than 20 minutes in car dealerships, and you don't need to be a great negotiator. So if that's something that you like, that's me, Deshaun, then welcome. Come on in. First thing to do, hit the like button and tap in, lock in. We'll be here for about 45 minutes, going deep on some financial strategy that if you use it, apply it, unlearn what the car business taught you to do for their benefit, you're going to be better than fine. I just leased a $54,000 Infiniti for $499 a month. I got $8,000 off the price of the car. Sitting at home, 2025. I haven't posted it yet. $8,000 off the price of the car from where I'm sitting at right here. The deal was done from right where I'm sitting at. This is where we want you to be. Now, obviously, I've spent a lot of time in the car business, 14 years. I've been teaching people online. But if you follow this, you can do this next week. You can do this week. This is how predictable the system is that we built. So we do these streams so that you can come and get access to information that you would never have access to. You're not, unless you've been in the car business or you have family that, even if you have family in the car business, you never have access to information that car sales people talk about. That's why we do these streams, so that you can have the insider perspectives on car shopping. How would and when you do that, see, the simple thing about this is just put dealers against each other. Stop negotiating one-to-one, which is what they want you to do, and let us show you how to negotiate one-to-many. When you start negotiating one-to-many, there's absolutely no way you can overpay, because you have put them against each other, created competition, and they start doing stuff they never would have did, like taking off big money because somebody wants to win. So that's the whole premise of the Cars from Home system. That's what we go deep on here. If that's something that's interesting to you, lock in, focus, hit some, I always say, type the $ in so I know who I'm talking to. Everybody that's locked in, type the $ in the comments, and we'll get the show on the road. Now, the entire stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. It has everything in there we'll be talking about today: leasing, purchasing, high mileage, below, everything. And you can go grab a copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. But if you're listening to this and you're like, man, this sounds good, let me go get me, and I want the whole blueprint, you can get yours for 75% off, but it's only for 30 minutes in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Now, let's get the show on the road. Is leasing a good option? Leasing is what most people should be doing, because they're not keeping cars. You are not keeping cars. You're not keeping cars long enough to make it make sense. Step 1 in our process of Cars from Home is something I call the 8-year rule. If you want to save money, if you care about your money, first thing you should burn into your brain is the 8-year rule. Because you're getting a depreciating asset and you're coming and you're buying it, and it's losing thousands of dollars in value every single year. Every single year. If you buy a car, what is a car today that's worth $40,000? Listen, get to your keyboards. I'm talking to the people that's locked in. Okay? I know it's a lot of people playing video games, streaming, doing all types of stuff, and they think they're going to hear something today on the side that's going to help them save 5-10 grand off their car, but they're distracted. So I need you to get to your keyboard, because I'm going to be asking you questions, and the people who respond to those questions and engage, where we're dialoguing, those are the people who save the most. Those are the people who get the results. You're not going to get the results just casually in the background listening to this. It's just not. It's going to make you feel good. You feel like you did something, but you didn't. So let's lock in. So a car today that's worth $40,000. What's that car worth in 5 years? Throw out some numbers. A car today that's worth $40,000. What is that car going to be worth in 5 years? Throw out some numbers. What's up, Goat? What's up, David Cesara? $40,000 today. What is the car going to be worth in 5 years? Deborah Alexander, good to see you. Throw out some numbers. Okay. 20, 25. Okay. 22, 18. Okay. I see 25. Depends on how it's driven. Gabby said 10. Listen, could be. Person puts 80,000 miles on it. Could be worth 10. Yep. Now you see this. No one's wrong. Now it's not worth 40. Will we agree? Can we agree? It's not going to be worth 40. Right? Car today is worth 40. Agree? It won't be worth 40 in 5 years. It won't be worth 30. Might be worth 15, 25, if you didn't drive it at all. But here's the point. It goes down in value. A lot. This is where you're losing in the short term. Because you pay all that money to buy that $40,000 car. How much is that car? How much is a payment on a $40,000 car? Some of you who've been in these streams, you know our rules here. You know our formulas. Every $5,000, X per month. I ain't gonna tell you because sometimes we get new people and y'all don't know. You don't know. So, how much is the payment on a $40,000 car? Anybody know? Anybody want to do that math real quick? 800. 800. Every $5,000 on the loan is about $100 per month. So $40,000 car is $800 a month, 5-year loan. So I could lease that same with a good lease deal. I could lease the same $40,000 car for $400 a month, $500 a month. Oh, Deshaun, that sounds crazy. You got to put a lot of money down to get those deals. Listen, this is Danielle, $44,000 Audi, $550 a month. This is common. Look, $48,000 car, $597 a month. Common. So this is what you're doing when your question about leasing. If I could change one thing in this world, in the industry, more people would understand leasing. Because you guys would be driving wonderful cars. Like, look at this car that India got. She's paying $365 a month. Brand new. Hyundai Elantra Limited, $28,000 car. Call it 29. That is a $600 car payment on a 5-year loan. She's paying $365 a month. So you guys, there's none of these people out here, and no one's tried yet, but I'm waiting for it. It's coming. What's up, A? What's up, Al? Good to see you, Didi. Ernesto, I'm waiting for it. Somebody's going to come and try to justify the fact you're paying $300 more per month for the same car, but it's okay because you're buying it. Somebody's going to try to justify that. You can't, in a world where we're watching people who don't have much disposable income. We're watching people where the savings is not what we like it to be as a country. It's not like we're abundant with money. $200, $300, $400 a month matters to the public. If it matters to you, type dollar signs. If $300 per month, if you knew you were driving a car that you could have been paying $300 less a month for it, if that matters to you, type dollar sign so I understand who I'm talking to. This is leasing versus buying. This is leasing versus buying. I'm not seeing enough dollar signs. I see 3 people in here that's locked in. I see you, Jen. I see you, Heavy Dose of Soul. I see you, Glenn Davis. I see you, D. Adams. Tap in. I'm asking questions. Gabby. This is what we're dealing with. I had a neighbor. Some of you know that story. This is about leasing. Most of you, if you are not keeping the car 8 years, that's the first thing people under. Oh, I don't know if I should buy or lease. I could do either one. No, you can't do either one. Not and when. If you are not keeping the car 8 years, leasing is the best option, as long as you know how to get great lease deals. You cannot go into a dealer, sign these bad lease deals that people are signing, break the 1.5% rule, put all types of money down so you can get to some good payment and think this is what Deshaun said, I'm leasing. No, you see these deals. You see the deals we post on these streams. You guys could go through all of our streams and you'll see the leases that we do look totally different. But this is the first thing you should be doing, is making a decision on whether you're going to buy or lease, because you're trying to decide, how am I going to beat depreciation? The car is going to depreciate. That $40,000 car we just talked about it 5 minutes ago is either going to be worth $10,000 in 5 years, $15,000, $12,000. It's going to be worth, I'm losing $30,000. So is there a way that I could acquire cars and not lose $30,000 over the next X amount of years or whatever? And if you're not keeping these cars, if you're keeping these cars, buy them. But what I'm seeing, and it seems like it's happening more, what do you think the reasons are people aren't keeping cars? What do you think the reasons are? I mean, we got Crying Tiger, we got, listen, I'm interested. Jesus, Rochin, Richard, I'm not talking to people that's keeping cars 8 to 10 years much. This is such a small number. That's why the mission is, wait a minute, if 75% of the people I'm talking to, and I talk to hundreds of people a day because, we're on live streams, 75% of the people I'm talking to are not keeping cars 8 years, but they're not leasing. Deshaun, are we all losing? Yes. Yes. Is it, what do you think I'm on here for, trying to break these numbers down and show y'all what these lease prices look like, and show you people are driving brand new cars, because when you lease, you drive brand new cars. 2024, 2025, 2026, you're driving the latest car. You're paying very small amounts compared to purchasers. But this is for people who don't keep their cars 8 years. If you keep your cars 8 years, go and buy the car. Buy something you love. But what I'm finding out more and more is people are not keeping them. Why aren't they? Cars are not lasting. Cost too much to fix. That's a good point. Listen, you just made a good point, Mr. SRL. Things change. The dynamics of cars and how we fix them, how we repair them, how we maintain them have changed. The things that can go wrong used to be the things that went wrong were mechanical. Now some things that are going wrong are electrical. Your mechanic used to be able to fix the things that were mechanical. That's why he's called a mechanic. You can't fix things that's electrical. It's got to be a technician. Different. So people say, oh, well, if that's the case, I'm not keeping my car 8 years. That's a reason. Oh, I used to be a buyer. I used to buy my cars, keep them 8, 10 years, put 200,000 miles on them. I'm not doing that anymore. I need to move to leasing. But what you can't do is keep buying and get rid of the cars in 5 years and not count the cost. You're losing $5,000 minimum. $5,000 minimum. Just look at the payments alone. All right, we go much deeper in this on my book. And you know why we don't need to go deep? We compare. That's all. I don't need to beat a subject into your head like we're in college. That's why all we do is show you the comparisons. That's all we do. If what I'm showing you here is not shocking you, then me taking you and showing you the dynamics of a lease ain't gonna do it. If you're looking at somebody like Ansley, this deal I love, similar to what I got. He got an Infiniti QX60, $58,000. He's paying $554 a month. I got an Infiniti QX60. I'm paying $499 a month. I put $1,200 out of pocket, paying $499 a month. If these payments don't excite you, then you're too programmed. Because who has this vehicle? We got anybody on here that has this vehicle? We got anybody on here that has a QX60? Because I got 3 people on here right now that I can show you that got them. Me, Ansley, and Rosalie. Where's Rosalie? And Rosalie. Anybody have a QX60? I guarantee you I ain't paying this. And see, that's the part where it's like, let me open my eyes and listen. The leasing issue is the issue. It's the first issue, y'all. It's the first issue. If you hop off these streams and you're not keeping your cars 8 years and you still keep purchasing them, and you have the credit to lease, you got a 680 or above, you just don't like money. In fact, you hate money. You like giving it away. That's how bad it is. All right, let's go. We'll go deeper on that. Anybody has a follow-up question? I know all types of questions. Don't they limit you on lease mileage? Whatever y'all want to ask, we'll talk about it. But I'll answer the questions as people ask them. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dolan. Do the leasing numbers work when we're driving more miles, though? Curious. Oh, that's a question I just knew was coming. Absolutely. Because leasing is not based on how much you drive. It's based on how long you keep the car. It's based on depreciation. So you're looking at 3 years, 12,000 miles. If you bought the car, see, I always say a car goes down in value like this. Your car is going to go down in value like this. It's like a sliding board. Every time when y'all think of the numbers for cars, because I want to get you out of this, they programmed you. They have programmed you to focus on what you're buying, not what you're paying. I'm going to say that again. That was a bar. They have programmed you to focus on what you're buying, not what you're paying. You're more excited about the car than the deal. We got to move into being excited about the deal. So this is what I want you to think of whenever you think of a car. What is that, John? This is the loss of value. Your car is worth this today. It's going to be worth this in 3 years. Now, that money, look at the people who lost money on Tesla. It's coming back now because politics have come in and legislation. So, there's legislation that came in and created Tesla. There's legislation that came in and saved Tesla or made Tesla more valuable. But prior to this, Tesla was losing value worse than almost any other car. So you bought a Tesla for 50 grand, forget it. That Tesla was worth, it was so bad. So bad. They had to get, so if you own that car and you paid cash for that car, you couldn't even trade it. Imagine paying 50 grand for a car and then you go and trade it in 2 years and they tell you it's only worth 20. Like what? That's depreciation. The more you drive, the more you depreciate the car. So when you drive like this, people say, well, Deshaun, I shouldn't lease because I drive too much. No, you got to realize this. If this is your normal depreciation, somebody like you, Deshaun, I'm driving 20,000 miles a year. You're depreciating your car even more. And so God comes in when I worked at Hyundai. He was the first person that I ever saw that had a high mileage lease. First person I ever saw. I see you. Shout out to Only B. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate everybody who shares. When I never seen it before. Guy comes in, he's returning his lease. He has like 72,000 miles on his Hyundai. I'm like, wait a minute. You leased this? He's like, yeah, I'm in sales. I used to buy my cars. I just was spending a ton of money. And, I started leasing, never doing anything different. So I got to see this. So I'm doing this paperwork to return. I look, his payment is not even $200 more per month than the normal, let's say a normal Hyundai Sonata, great deal back then, might have been $300 a month, $325. His payment might have been $475, $500, something like that, $525. It wasn't like $700. So he's only paying $200 more per month, but he gets to drive as much as he wants to drive. He had a 25,000 mile a year lease. And when he got it home, when he was done with it in 3 years, he didn't have to worry about, resale and negative equity, because that's the high. Anyone who drives more than 18,000 miles, I want you to type HM, high mileage. Some of the hardest deals, because they would come into the dealership. I remember, especially when Uber took off. When Uber took off, we had all these people coming into the dealership with 200,000 miles on their Honda Accord, 250,000, 300,000. That's not the bad part. It's the fact they still owed money. They still owed $12,000, $15,000, $9,000, and it was horrible. And all they had to do was either lease or shorten the point is, it's what I call pushing the losses to the back. You don't escape the 8-year rule because you drive a lot. You don't and I've been really thinking about this the last couple of days, because now that I see this leasing thing is a problem, the way I've always known it was. Trust me, when I saw Dave Ramsey and I saw some of these viral videos, I knew it was a problem. I just didn't know the magnitude. There's 17 million new cars sold a year in America. That number should be like 30. Because the 40 million used cars, and out of those 40 million used cars we sell every year in America, at least 10 million should be leases. At least 10 million should be leases. People that are out here buying their cars, new or used, not keeping them 8 years, all of those should be moving to the new car market as a lease. So that 17 million new cars we sell every year should be like 27 million, because more people should be leasing. And, we're going to, with the help of the Holy Spirit, by the grace of God, do our part to try to move that needle and try to get people to see. Not leasing is costing y'all so much money. We can't even get to the negotiations yet. We've been on this train 20, 22, 23 minutes. We can't even get to negotiations yet, because I got to hit this again hard. I want people realizing, like my neighbor realized, he had a Kia Telluride. He was paying $800 a month for it. His wife totaled the car. She had an accident. The car got totaled. He caught the 8-year rule. He knows we teach the 8-year rule. And he said, listen, Deshaun, I noticed this 8-year rule you teach. I'm not keeping this next car 8 years. So I'm thinking I should be shopping for a lease. I said, exactly. He said, okay, I'm going to use the system. He uses our system, shops 25 dealers. I teach you how to shop 25 dealers in 20 minutes. So for a new car or a lease, we have a different system for used cars, but he uses our system. His payment's $479 on his brand new Kia Telluride. Let me ask you a question. What do you think he thinks, going from having a car that he had for 2 years, he was paying $800 a month for it, to getting the exact same car in his driveway, and he's paying $479 a month for it? What do you think he thinks? You think he's sold on leasing? You think he's sold? Do you think he needs any convincing when he literally looks out his window, he sees a truck, same truck was costing him $800 a month, and he's a negotiator. So he's not a guy who just went in and laid down. He's a negotiator. He's paying $800 a month, changes his structure, is still able to drive what he wants, and now he's paying $479 a month. It's not a question. It's not even a question. All right. So we've established, if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease, not a regular lease, below market lease. That means you can't pay everything. You can't pay what the commercials say to pay. What's up, Josh? What's up, Big Lou? You can't pay what the commercials say to pay. It's not a deal. So when I say below market leases, you're going to hear me Why does I notice, Deshaun, you always say below market leases that we need to get. It's the only leases. If you go out there and you pay the prices, what's up, Angel? You pay the same prices that they're charging most of your fellow Americans, then yeah, nothing that I say is going to make sense because they're charging y'all so much for these leases you don't know how to get. There's some people, you know how bad it is? Every now and then I'll hear somebody, they'll DM me and say, Deshaun, I was trying to lease at the dealership. They told me that I should just buy the car because the payment to buy is going to be pretty much the same to lease. That's it, because you're getting a horrible deal. Hey, tell me I'm getting a horrible deal without telling me I'm getting a horrible deal. Payment to buy is the same to lease. I'm charging you so much money on this lease that the payment to purchase it is about the same. So why don't you just purchase it? So we can't compare deals that they put on commercials to what we're talking about here. You can't compare none of that with down payment money. You see Ansley, no down payment. He got a 1% lease. And for those of you who don't know what a 1% lease is, that means you look at a brand new car, and after you get your best offer, it's 1% of the MSRP. That's a 1% lease. You're looking at a $40,000 car, you get all your offers, $400 a month, you make your deal, or less. That's a 1% lease. $80,000 BMW, $800 a month, or less, 1% lease. So I always say, you can't get a 1% lease without having a great system to make sure you find a dealer to take off the most money, but you also need the lease program to be there. So depending on the lease program, your lease is either going to be a 1.5, that's the threshold. See, no, you know how many people didn't know that they had bad lease deals until that's the reason we created the 1.5% rule. Add up all the payments. So it's about knowing two things. If I'm not buying a car, if I'm not keeping a car 8 years, I should be shopping for a lease. And once I made that decision, now I need to get a below market deal. And it's the same to you purchasers. You just because you're purchasing don't mean you can go out here and you can pay these prices they're charging people. I got $8,000 off the Infiniti that I just got. I could have purchased that. You do realize that. If you get $8,000, look at this. Look at Kimberly. Some of you know Kimberly. $20,000 off her Maserati deal. Look, $20,000 off with Kimberly. Now, Kimberly saves 20 grand off this Maserati. She's paying $944 a month for a $91,000 Maserati. Now look at this. This was one of her quotes. It wasn't her best quote, but it was one of them. She could have purchased this. So once you get the money off, leasing it versus buying it, that doesn't matter. It's harder to get a great lease though because you need a program. You need a residual. You need support. The lease program has to be there. You don't use your own bank with a lease. Use the dealer's banks. So, but for those of you who are purchasing, if you don't think, because we spend so much time talking about leasing, because we got to educate people on leasing here, that you out here purchasing, oh, Deshaun, I'm good. Would you bet me $1,000 that you got the best deal you could have gotten? No, I probably wouldn't. Mama Lynn, what's up, Robert? That's my question to you. Would you bet me $1,000 that the car you got, if you're going to do it your way? I have no problem. Look, if you think you can do it your way and save more money than what we would say, doing it the Cars from Home way. If you're like, okay, Deshaun, I know you're showing me all these people, you're saying we got thousands of people using this system and all that, but I still think I could do it. Okay, would you bet me $1,000 after you make your deal? Bet me $1,000 that we can't get a better deal than that. Who would take the bet? Would you take the bet? That's why you need to go get the Cars from Home system. In our book, everything we teach is in blueprint form, step by step. That's why the book is called Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Because you don't need to be in deal. It's literally it's the master blueprint to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. That means I want all the money off that I can get, and I want to do it as quick as I can do it. That's what we do. Now that book's normally $97. You can Google it. When you go to the page, it's $97. We have a welcome offer though, where you can get your copy for 75% off. And that's for 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, the price does go back to $97. So you want your copy, go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio. There's a website there. Click the link, or go to my Instagram, go to the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments and click the link, and that'll activate your click the button that says 75% off Deshaun's new book. And it'll be in your inbox as soon as you pay. Screenshot the thank you page, and you'll have my support team's email just in case you have trouble getting the book. Sometimes you type your email wrong, no problem. But you'll also have on that page is the link to open the book. As soon as you pay, you can open it, save it. If you can't guarantee me that the cars you buy, you're willing to place a bet that no one can get a car for less than that, then that means you have buyer's remorse. That means you have price anxiety. In which we want to eliminate that. How do we eliminate that? Multiple offers. It's the simplest prescription for your problem. Deshaun, I'm worried, man. I'm worried I'm gonna get scammed. Multiple offers. Deshaun, I'm worried I'm gonna overpay. Multiple offers. It's the solution. Now, you may not know how to do that, and that's where Cars from Home comes in. We believe we have, until someone else can prove us wrong or show more result than us, we have the best system in the world for multiple offers on new cars, used cars, and leases. That's what we're known for. But, if what we did was harder, it'd still be worth it. See, if saving money and guaranteeing that you got all the money off on a car you could have gotten in the whole market, not from one dealership, in a 100-mile radius, is there any dealer that could have saved me more money? If the answer is no, whatever I need to do to guarantee that, it would be worth it. If I had to take 12 hours, 20 hours to guarantee that when I got my car, I didn't overspend. I could have saved $5,000 if I did that. I need to guarantee that. Even if it was hard, I would still do it. Financially savvy people would still do it. If there was a way for you to make sure you did not overpay for a car, but it took a lot of time, financially savvy people who care about their money would still do it. I'm telling you, we got a system where not only is our system guaranteeing we're paying less than everyone else, not only the things I'm teaching you to get multiple offers from dealerships, guaranteeing it's quicker too. I got this Infiniti lease. It took me 90 minutes from front to back. Now I'm an expert. I'll admit that. I'm in the car business. Deshaun, of course, you've been in the car business. You're the teacher. Of course, you could do it in 90 minutes. Okay, but you could do it in 3 hours. Over a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 hours, 4, put it in, boom. I saved thousands of dollars from my living room. And next time you get the car, it's not going to be 3 hours. It's going to be 2. And then the next time you get your family a car, it's going to be 90 minutes. And next thing you know, you're just as good as me and everybody who's been using our stuff for years. This is the easy way. And maybe it's things that sound too good to be true, probably are. It's no way, Deshaun. How you mean to tell me we could save more money off the cars than we've been saving, and we don't have to spend the 3 days in the dealerships? That sounds a little too good to be true. Well, here's the results. Here's the results. Read it. Don't hear it from me. Of course, y'all know I could do this. Look at Zafrina, $579 a month, $65,000 car. Only use the scripts. I got all the email scripts. You just copy and paste them. You ain't got to worry about what I'm going to say. Deshaun, what? Am I going to be face to face? Do I have to remember stuff? You ain't worry about none of that. We don't even talk to car salesmen. We copy and paste our way to deals. When we're shopping for a used car, we're doing everything online, narrowing our used car search down to our best top 5, but we're narrowing it down based on service, based on title history, based on, you should be narrowing your used search down in that 100-mile radius based on title, service, accident history, and then looking at making sure there's no bogus fees. Only fees that should be on a used car: tax, documentation, and motor vehicle fees. That's it. 14 years I worked with dealerships. I never had a dealership that had a fee other than those 3 fees. So if anybody says, oh, used car hire, what fees you charge? Tax, documentation fee, DMV, motor vehicle cost. That's your title, that's your registration, that's your plate. That's it. When you hear these people say, oh yeah, we got a prep fee, we got a mandatory $1,400 service fee, and then we got the low jack that we put in there, you're gonna pay $800 for that. We would never be in a dealership finding that out. We always are verifying that from home so that nobody has the opportunity to waste our time. Because while you getting in that car to go see that dealer, to go look at that used car that has all these fake fees that they're going to hit you with when you get out there, the car that is the best deal right here, that you looking, it's like, okay, well, that car is $200 more per month. I mean, $200 more. All right, I'm going to go to see this one. But you don't realize this one is the scam car. That one doesn't have any fake fees. And the only way you would understand this is to verify the fees before you visit, so that when you get there, you already know I'm leaving with this car. Whenever we are going to look at a used car, we know we have done all the work at home to know, unless this car drives funny, I'm making this deal. Because I've done everything. People say, yo, if somebody do that on a used car for me, I'm just walking out. And you're walking back home and you're going to start shopping all over again. I see you, Princess Kiki. Thanks for double tapping the screen. Thanks to the people who always like the broadcast. You're going to go right back. So you didn't lose. I mean, you didn't win. You lost there. You let someone waste your time, and you let somebody put you back into the market when you could have made a phone call, verified fees, and just didn't waste your time. Oh, y'all got that many fees? No problem. Do y'all negotiate? No problem. Let me move on to the next one. But what happens a lot of time is they scam you. They will scam the person coming in, and just the person will be like, well, I didn't know y'all had all these fees. And then next thing you know, they negotiated. But how do you negotiate fake fees? I think I made that video 3 years ago, 2 years ago, because during pandemic, just people are like, Deshaun, I'm at this dealership. How do I get them to take off these $3,000 in fees they made up? You don't. See, because if you were dealing with a dealership that didn't have the fake fees, then what are we negotiating? The price. But when we are dealing with a dealer that has the fake fees, you're trying to negotiate the fake fees. And what are you not negotiating? If you're negotiating the fake fees, what are you not negotiating? The price. And watch this. When you're dealing with these dealers that have the fake fees, when they take off the fake fees, they're at the asking price. And they feel like they did you a favor. What's up, Latima? They feel like they did you a favor. If you will go, if there's a $20,000 car, and they say, all right, we want 20 grand for this car. Let's make up $3,000 in fake fees. Now, Latima comes in. Yeah, I saw this car online. Y'all was asking 20,000 for it. I'm interested. Now they fake. Hey, all right, yeah. With everything, you're gonna be at 28. Wait, I don't get it. You had it at 20. How do we get to 28? Well, we have these 3,000 in fees, 3,500. Then you got your tax, and that's where we're at. Okay, with the documentation fees, so you get. Now, you spend 2 hours there. They take off some of the fees. You just patting yourself on the back. I did a good job. I got them to take off all those fake fees. You paid asking price. Who got that? Who's clear on that? Who's clear on that? You went in, you spent 2 to 3 hours negotiating to get the fake fees off, to get it down to the asking price, and you felt like you won. You did not win. You paid the asking price. These are the illusions. And unfortunately, that's the car business. For people who don't know what they're doing, unfortunately, we never deal with that. You see what I'm saying? I just laid out exactly what we do to make sure we never encounter that. Now, as much as I've laid that out in social media videos and streams and all types of stuff, the car business, no. It's a bunch of people don't know who the heck I am. Bunch of people here, your friends out there shopping right now, you ain't shared a broadcast with them. You never shared my page with them. You know, I ain't talking to the community. I'm not talking to the community. I know the community, the people who always like, who always share. I'm talking to people who like you getting the information, and you know you got a best friend. You know you have a best friend. You've been on the stream for 30, 40 minutes with us, and you ain't share that with them. And they're going to be in that dealership tomorrow or next week or next month, and they're going to pay $3,000 in fake fees. And that's why the car dealers keep doing it. That's the point. See, it ain't about me. Oh, Deshaun, man, you know, you just want us to tell people about. No. You asking, people have asked, Deshaun, when the car business going to change? Everything you say, Deshaun, it just sounds like the car business. Why do they allow this? When are they going to change? They're going to change when you change. That's when the car business will change. When we were there, we'd have appointments all the way up through the week. On a big President's Day sale, Labor Day sale, holiday, how many appointments we got? 300? On that weekend. Over that weekend, we might have 300 to 400 appointments on a Friday, Saturday, and Monday. When those appointments go from 300 to 200, 200 to 150, that's when people start worrying. That's when the car business will stop doing what they're doing. But as long as you, and as long as your friends, your family keep walking in those dealerships and saying, get me the best deal you can get me, ain't nothing changing in the car business. It's only going to be the small community of people who know what they're doing, who are wise. And when I say small, you know, our community is just off the people I know who have access to our information, the Cars from Home book, or either the Cars from Home. You know, I coach people too. We have a video program where we walk you through step-by-step videos. That's about 12,000, 13,000 people. That's nothing compared to the fact, I just told y'all 50 million people a year buy cars. So our little, you know, praise the Lord. We are very, very, very fortunate and blessed that we get to impact people's lives. And we have, you know, we built a brand that has helped do it. But in terms of the market size, it's not even 1/10 of one. It's probably 1/10 of 100 of 1%. It's nothing. So you got 50 million people a year walking in the dealerships, want to do things traditionally, and just that's why they keep that multi-billion-dollar machine just rolling. Shared with my bro-in-law last week. Thank you so much, JC. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We got to save our people. There is no one out here who is going to be in your corner when you overpay for your car. Ain't nothing you could do. You ain't seeing nobody suing dealerships. It's not happening. Let's stop it. You know, oh, I think I got a lemon law, whatever it may be. No one cares. It is buyer beware with cars. And that is why we take this so seriously, because we know once you make this decision, there's no one who's going to help you. If you make a bad decision, I remember I was at Mercedes and a person walked into the dealership and he was pissed off because he has a neighbor who is paying. Hang on one second. He has a neighbor that he knows, or somebody he went to dinner with, same E-Class, same car, $200 a month less than him. He was pissed off. $200 a month less. Went out to dinner. Hey, man, I got the same car. Where'd you get it from? I got it over there at Paramus. Me too. Same car. They knew each other. They both leased it, in this particular case, his payment was $200 a month less than his. That's about $8,000 difference. That means this guy here, could be about 10. It's about 10. About 10. So that means you have two people, same market, bought the same exact car, similar price car. One of them got $10,000 more off than this one. When they found out, he was pissed. Nothing he can do. I'm never buying here again. That still doesn't change the fact you're $10,000 poorer because you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't have the skills to know that the market price on this car is a $10,000 discount. It's $10,000 less. And that's what's happening. The car business is they've mastered making you think you win. So that's it. That's why we want you to have the strategies so that you can proactively move through your car purchase. It's your agenda. You don't have to worry about your plan. Just bring your goal, use our strategy, and the success is guaranteed. You don't need the strategy. You don't have to figure it out. Deshaun, am I going to have to be coming up with what to say, what to do next and all that? No, that's why it's called 7 steps. Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Step 1 is the most important question, which we talked about at the beginning of the show. 8-year rule, leasing versus buying. Step 7 is delivery, which means you should not even be reading step 7 if you're not setting up delivery. People will be like, Deshaun, I'm in the program, I'm using all the stuff, I went through everything. Do you have your car? No, I just went through everything. Okay, so you weren't doing the action steps? Like when I said, go on this website, put this information in, get this value. Did you do that? No, I was just reading everything. Okay, say that then. Because the way that our system is set up is, hey, Javon, what's going on? Yeah, Deshaun, I need a car. What's the first step I should do? How many years you keeping it? I'm going to keep about 10 years. I keep my cars, at least 10 years. Okay, so we're going to purchase. Okay, do you have a vehicle you're replacing? See, that was step 1. Just that quick right there. You don't even realize we just did step 1. Now we move to step 2, equity assessment. You have a vehicle you're replacing? Yeah, I got something, I got like a 2013, it's paid off. Okay, perfect. Go to these websites right here, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Car Gurus. Get those 6 offers. It's going to take you about 20 minutes. Call me back. Okay, perfect. Yo, Deshaun, I got the offer. All right, who's the best offer? AutoNation actually made me the best offer. They're gonna give me $8,000 for it. Okay, perfect. Step 2, done. Step 3. All right, so let's talk about it. You're purchasing now. Let's talk about the budget. How you gonna finance the car? Pay cash? You're going, no, I'm gonna get a loan. Okay. Use this tool. Go to this website. It's gonna tell you how much you can exactly to the T. It's a calculator that I built. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. When you get your copy of your book, or if you're in my program, you have access to all these calculators we built. You can't get these on Google. There are proprietary, information. And that's going to tell you exactly how much you can spend with tax, fees, everything. It factors in the tax. You put your state. It factors in the down payment. It gives you multiple goals, and you're going to know you're going to have up to between 4 to 6 goals of purchase prices well below your max budget. That's how it is. I could do a perfect budget calculator in about 60 seconds. Tool. Now, before we built that calculator, it was manual. But once we built, we used to actually have to walk you through that process. Now it's literally calculator, 30 seconds. That's step 3. Now I know what I can spend. So what I just told y'all, half of our process in preparing to go into the market, it takes seconds. That's why those step-by-step videos or the book is broken down into things you should be doing. This isn't math class. This is like action steps. Do this, do this, do this. Congratulations, you got your car. That's what it's about. That's what the Cars from Home system is about. It's not a learning system. It's not let's just sit down and I want to learn how to think the way Deshaun thinks, all of this stuff. I want to be so good I could sell cars. No, it ain't none of that. All it is a step-by-step system online shopping system to get you to your cars. Okay, so now the book is normally $97. Some of you know, but we have a welcome offer for 30 minutes. You can get it for 75% off. That's $24, but you got to get to my TikTok bio or Instagram bio before the 30-minute countdown is up. Click the link there, or you can click the link in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. 30 minutes, you got your book for $24 instead of $97. Now, $97 is still a phenomenal price. You use that book. And I saw a comment said somebody said I love the book. JC, I'm gonna answer that. When you get your copy, make sure you screenshot the thank you page, because as soon as you pay, you get access to the book right then and there. And then once you get access to that book, download it, but screenshot it, because it has my support team's email on there. Sometimes you type your email in incorrectly, and we can't send a book to an incorrect email. But if you use this, it will be one of, guaranteed, top 3 most financially beneficial books in your library, unless you're just not going to buy cars. And if you cannot use a computer, don't get the book. I don't say that enough, and I should. And that's my fault. If you can't use a computer, if you can't copy and paste, this is not for you. You know what? That's actually something I want to make sure I make clear on almost every stream. Every single time I tell you about the book, you're going to start hearing me say that. Because I know sometimes it may seem like, Deshaun, Cars from Home can help everybody. Like, you got used car stuff in there. I got bad credit. Yeah, that's in there. We got lenders, specific people we work with, specific for bad credit. Yeah, that's in there. All right, so it can help everybody, but that's not true. It's an online shopping system. So if you're not comfortable online, if you're not comfortable visiting websites, if you don't have a computer, you can't do this on your phone. So you need to have a computer, laptop, access. I don't care if you're going to the library, but you need access to a computer, and you need to be able to copy and paste. If you can do that, then yes, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships will be one of the most valuable digital books or books you've ever owned. You get 5 cars. Imagine you get 1 car. Imagine if you're getting a Maserati and you save 20 grand. Some of you might even, 10 grand, 7 grand. You might just be happy with, doing a deal like Tiffany. Tiffany got 6,500 off. She used it. I got so many people, American seniors. Anyway. Go ahead, Dolan. I can't show enough people. Go ahead, Dolan. Let's close out with a few more questions before we wrap. Go ahead. All of you who have questions, type them in. We'll try to get to as many as we can before we wrap. We're almost done now. Deshaun, I love the book. Hey, my question is, thank you, JC. My question is regarding how best to answer the question when doing the equity check. Oh, wait. My screen just went off. Why did my screen just go off? All right. Sorry about that. All right. We'll just finish it I don't want, because I'm going to have to keep looking to the side. Hang on 1 second. One of my monitors just went off. Okay, this is going on me. Okay. My fault, guys. I have 2 monitors, and the one in front of me, front facing, went out. And then I tried to plug it in, but now I can't. My camera's in front of me. My camera here then. And let's see if we could do it like. All right, so I'll face TikTok. Put it like that. Okay, so I got to look this way because your question's on this screen, JC. So hang on. When doing the equity check on the car buyer sites, when they ask if I have a loan, lease, or own, I always put own. because there's nothing, none of those other questions should affect the value of the car. So even if if you tell me my car is worth 15, then I call and I want to set my appointment up, and then you find out I have a loan for 10, then that shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter at all. How does that change the value of my vehicle? And why I really put own is because on leases, they have something in the way they do leases where they don't know which lease brands allow them to, which lease brands have a third party restriction. There's two ways we sell leases. We either going to sell them direct to the highest bidder, or if it has a third party restriction, then we're getting dealers to bid, because they will not let you sell directly to Carvana or CarMax, but you can have dealers bid. And I have a system, I have a strategy in my book and a script where we talk to a used car manager, we get multiple offers, and we'll get our equity that way. But a lot of people, that's where they give up on their equity, when they have a third party restriction. But JC, to answer your question, that just put own, but that's why those forms can be a little tricky. And I think we avoid everything by just putting own. Tell me what the car is worth. If I owned it outright, what's your offer? Makes it very, very simple. Go ahead, Dolan. Okay, what's the best strategy for someone with bad credit and need a vehicle? What a pre-owned vehicle but be ideal, or a new one? I want to be able to keep it over 6 years. Or over 6 is not over 8. So I would say if you are going to keep it for over 6 years, then you should not be purchasing. You shouldn't plan to purchase long term. You should plan to set yourself up for a lease. What's up, Moses? What's up, Seth? That's what you should be doing. Plan to set yourself up for a lease, because it has to be 8 years. See, I think sometimes, and I'm gonna start saying 8 to 10, but I'm not gonna call it the 8 to 10 year rule, because that just doesn't have the same ring to it. It's the 8-year rule, but I'm gonna start saying 8 to 10. If you're not keeping your car 8 to 10 years, you shouldn't be purchasing. If you're purchasing, you're overpaying. You should be shopping for below market leases. What's up, Seth? What's up, WM? And the reason I'm saying 8 to 10, because I think some people, they'll say, well, I'm keeping it 6, 7. So I think that's close enough. No, it's not. It's not. It's 8 minimum. Minimum is 8. The minimum is 8. And so if I have bad credit and I all right, I'm not keeping my car 8 years, I'm trying to set myself up for a lease. So what am I going to do? Get an inexpensive car. I have a strategy in my book we call the smart car, where we're only looking to get an inexpensive car that we can drive, $10,000, $12,000 loan that we can, because that's going to be affordable. It's going to be about a $250 a month payment. And we need to establish that payment history, because nothing gets you approved for a lease like on-time payments on a car. If the bank sees you've been paying $250 a month for 2 years straight, when you go to jump up on a car to a $400 payment, it matters. So credit score and car payment history make a huge difference in getting approved. That's the smart car strategy. That's in the book. That's in the digital book, Cars from Home. So you would be setting if you have bad credit, you're either going to buy for the long term and then refinance the loan when your credit's good. Welcome, Lamont. I see you. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the follow. When you have bad credit, I'm either going to, let's just say I'm a keeper. I'm not a lease person. I do not plan on I'm keeping my cars 8 to 10 years or more. So I'm not shopping for a lease at all, but I don't have the credit. My mission is to get a great price on a car. You can spend a little more according to your budget, because you need to get a great car. You're going to pay more for the loan. That's normal. But we use a company like Limbuzz. We have entire strategies that we roll out for people with bad credit in the book. So the most important thing for the long-term purchase is to get a quality car, because you can refinance the loan. You can't change the car. So if I got a nice car, well taken care of, I verified that it had great service records, great accident history. I verified it's a long-term car. It's a car that's known for going 200, 300,000 miles. We verify that in step 4 of my book. I have a quick thing we do, takes 5 minutes. We go to Google and we type in initial quality, reliability, longevity. And we do that we do 3 of those searches. And we make sure that the car we're looking for, some of the cars you're looking for, they're known for the transmission going out at 90,000 miles. Don't you think that's important to know? Some of you right now are looking at cars, you're looking at used cars with 80,000 miles on them, and you don't realize that that car is known for having transmission problems at 90 to 100,000 miles. That could be why the person dumped it. Because they know if I keep it here, as long as I get rid of it before 80,000 miles, I'm usually okay. Now they dump it off to a person who does not know how to verify that that car has bad DNA, and they're going to buy it. And then they wonder, oh, the dealership scammed me. Man, I got that car, man, the transmission went out on me in 6 months. But you could have done the step that we teach, verified that for yourself, and said, wait, this car is known for nothing. This car got about 10,000 miles before the data says transmission could start slipping. I think I'm gonna look for something else. You see what I'm saying? These are the things. So I'm doing that if I'm a long-term purchaser, bad credit, because I'm gonna get an incredible car, I'm gonna pay a great price for it, and I'm gonna pay a high interest. That's the only thing I'm gonna pay a high price on is my interest. I'm going to get a great price on that car. And that's where bad credit people, and that's where personally, a lot of people with good credit, you get confused because you're confusing the monthly payment with the price of the car. You're confusing the deal with the price of the car. I could have a 20% interest rate because I have bad credit, but I got a great price on this car. Look, watch this. And I'm gonna give you an example to really end this. If I got bad credit and I walk into a dealership and they're having a going out of business sale, we're going out of business. Everything's 50% off today. What, everything? Every car in the showroom, 50% off. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I'll take this one right here. It was 40, but I can get it for 20. Yep. Okay. Let's write it up. Everybody agree that's a great deal? Would everyone agree that's a great price for a car? 50% off. But we go into a dealership. Can you agree? Type agree. Because this is a big point we want to make about how these things relate. Especially for some of you you don't have good credit. You need to detach your loan from your car. Okay? So we agree. Okay, I see you, Tina. I see you, Joe. I see you, Danny. I see you, Gabby. Thank you to the engaged people. I'm always look. I love the engaged people, man. Yo, because I gotta tap people and tell them like you ain't gonna save 10, 15 grand off no car work on China. You playing video games while we talking money over here. Like I'm getting the information. I hear you, bro. No, you don't. So we agree. 50